Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing. Let's take a minute to talk about curriculum as you are heading into the classroom to observe the K-12 teacher that you've selected. Curriculum is what they are teaching, and it's more specific than you probably realize. So to begin, there's a difference between curriculum and instruction, and really curriculum is the framework. So its curriculum would be Common Core, all the requirements of a specific grade, all of that kind of thing goes under curriculum. That in second grade you're going to learn double-digit subtraction or whatever the math standard is for the particular grade you're talking about. That's your curriculum. Your instruction is actually the art of teaching. It's how you teach. You might use kinesthetic instruction to teach the planets by having students stand and then having other students orbit around them and while turning. That's a great kinesthetic instructional method. Your other instruction could be, of course, direct instruction. You could be using small groups, all that kind of good stuff. So curriculum is the framework. It's actually kind of the nuts and bolts of what you're teaching in the particular grade, and the instruction is the way in which you teach. Okay, so you have explicit curriculum, which is your formal curriculum. This is the stuff that's written down. It's in the Common Core standards or your district standards, your school standards, whatever, however the framework is for where you work. An integrated curriculum, that means you are teaching across different subject areas. So, for example, I taught computers, but I also taught English. So I would teach them how to format a letter on the computer. So I'd be teaching them the technical steps, but in the process of doing that, I also reemphasized basic English skills that they should have been getting in their high school classes. And we also did different research where I'd teach them about how to search online, but we would do a history subject or topic or a science subject question that they have to answer. And so although I was teaching computers, I always taught across the curriculum and integrated standards from other subject areas. Okay, so that would be integrated curriculum. Implicit curriculum is unstated, and this also it depends on the area. So culture and community and family and the environment of the school where you're teaching, all of those things are factors in what is implicitly taught in your school. So when you drive past a school, like I drive past Birch Elementary all the time, and they always have a character trait up, and it's like courage and compassion and different things, and those are implicit curriculum. So they're going to be teaching these character traits along with math, science, and English. All right. Null curriculum, I've never even heard of that in the real teaching world, but it's in our text. And null curriculum, actually not in our text for this class. It's probably in our text for 201. You may or may not be enrolled in both classes, so just don't worry about what I just said. Okay, fast forward. Null curriculum, topics left out. So you can't really do that with Common Core. You can't go through the Common Core as a teacher and decide you're not going to teach certain areas, because that framework is nationwide. Everybody is counting on you to hit those curriculum standards for your grade. Not just the teacher in the next grade. When she gets your students, she expects you to cover certain things so that she can cover what she's supposed to cover. So I don't really know how null curriculum works in the real teaching world, because I never had that. Extracurricular, those are all your fun activities that go beyond your academics generally. Okay, 21st century skills, that's a buzzword in the industry. So here they're talking about going beyond their community and thinking big picture, right? So when you talk about science and you're talking about ecology or recycle, reuse, whatever, how do those things affect more than just your community? So you take a basic concept that you're going to talk about recycling, but you build it out bigger, so you have a global perspective to everything you're teaching whenever you can. And so all of these areas, civic literacy, critical thinking, communication, technology, all of these things are trying to prepare your student for the world beyond the little community or town you're in. The other controversy is in reading, and I don't know if it's really a controversy, but it's definitely, there's a divide between people who believe in whole language and people who believe in phonics. And quite honestly, when you pick the one you like, it's very hard to argue for the other one. So I'll just be honest and say I'm a fan of phonics, although I find it very difficult to do phonics because I think I learned whole language. So phonics for me are very challenging, but it seems to work much better. So that's what I've seen in the classroom. Okay, the last slide here is on service learning, which is another type of curriculum when you're actually out in the community doing something that combines content and real life learning. So I'm sure you've heard of service learning in some other classes, but they're also bringing it down to the K-12 and doing different service learning projects in all the grades. I know my kids had a senior citizen that they wrote letters to last year in the first grade. So it can be as simple as that, adopting an elderly person in the community and then having a relationship with that person, the class having a relationship with that person, or it can be much bigger, like the service learning projects you have at the community college or college level. All right, so I hope that gives you a basic understanding of curriculum, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about the curriculum you're seeing in the classroom. See you soon.